welcome back to Rooftop Talks. Today I don't have a script, so I'm hoping that I can speak coherently on this subject, taking the opportunity now to talk about tactical neglect with you. It's high time I talked about tactical neglect. So, let me present a scenario to you. Perhaps one day you bought a lovely dog, maybe a Labrador or a terrier, I don't know. So you find out she's pregnant and she has babies, a litter of 4 pups. You sell 2 of them, you keep 2 of them, and one of those pups develops a tumor on their abdomen. And it's quite clear that the tumor is causing her a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain, very nasty. It's oozing pus. She's yelping, she's hobbling around, she can't enjoy things anymore. And everyone you meet says, you should take her to a vet. You take her to the vet and it's gonna cost you $100 to get that tumor removed. I'll just use random numbers for this because it doesn't really matter what the numbers are so much. And you just decide, nah, too expensive. I'm gonna just take her home and, we'll just keep going the way it is. Is that abuse? Is that abuse? Is it abusive for you to refuse, to deny essential medical care to a creature that is within your custody? Is this even a difficult question to answer? If you answer no, are you a monster? I think so. I think we're probably all in agreement by this point. Great. Now, imagine that on a massive scale. And that's what we're talking about in this video, tactical neglect on farms with farm animals. So the way that animals exist in this current day and age, on farms, they have been selectively bred. That means that the farmer on a dairy farm, for example, breeds this cow who produces a lot of milk with this cow who also comes from a line who produces a lot of milk, and they do that again and again and again and again and again. Through artificial insemination, controlled breeding, they breed cows that have massive udders, 10 times the size of natural cows. Now, this is painful for the cow. They're carrying something that's very heavy beneath them. It hurts their backs, it hurts their bones. I could go into that, I could talk about that all day. Same goes with chickens and pigs. It's the same wherever you see them, really, with these animals that are bred for consumption. They develop chronic illnesses through this selective breeding. More so than ordinary healthy animals would. So yes, they develop a lot of tumors. They develop a lot of chronic illnesses that are extremely painful. Now, as the farmer, you've got some quite tight margins of profit. For example, there's a piglet who has a chronic illness early on. What are your options as a farmer? You could take that piglet to the vet. You have hundreds of pigs on your farm, maybe thousands of pigs on your farm. It's breeding season, there's loads of little piglets. You could take that piglet to a vet, or you could bring a vet around. You could call a vet, and that vet charges for their expertise $100 an hour. The vet has to get in their car and they charge for all of this. The retail value of that piglet at this point in the supply chain is, I don't know, $50, something like that. I mean, sometimes you can buy a whole chicken for like £10 in some of these places. The retail value of these animals is not very high. It's not high enough on a financial level, on a fiscal basis, to warrant calling the vet out to treat that illness. So what do? The option that some farms have is they pay a farmhand to bludgeon that pig to death. Some places will have some kind of bolt gun or shotgun, but these are expensive equipment. These are expensive tools. Again, cost, right? Financial cost. So actually in a lot of places you go, it won't be a bolt gun, it won't be a shotgun. For small animals like piglets, it is legally permissible in many countries to simply pick that piglet up by their hind legs and thump them until they are dead. I don't know if you've ever seen this being done. It's quite grisly because the first hit usually doesn't kill them. The first hit usually just makes them go into like a spasm, like their whole body goes rigid. They make terrible, awful, blood-curdling noises. And then maybe the second or third hit will kill them. And because of the sheer scale that these farms operate on to bring you your products, your animal products, this is why it's happening, let me remind you, because of the scale, there's just not that much staffing because staff cost money. They have to be paid hourly and there's just not enough staff and they're not present all the time. It would cost them a lot of money to have someone monitoring all of these animals all the time. And so the solution, if you were to ask an animal farmer what the solution to this is, if they were being honest, they would shrug their shoulders and say, there is no solution. This will keep happening, continuing as normal. We have not changed a thing in years. If that broiler hen is having respiratory problems because that chicken has been bred to a size where they cannot carry their own body weight, that chicken is left to suffocate. It could be 10 hours, it could be 20 hours. They will die a slow, painful death with nobody present, with no painkillers. Multiply that by thousands. One statistic I saw said that in the UK alone, 50,000 piglets die through tactical neglect every year. And there is currently nothing in place to change that statistic and to stop that statistic from increasing. There is one thing that can change these statistics, that can bring them down, and that is a change in consumer habits. A change in the demand of ordinary everyday people to buy products that do not involve animals at all. They do not involve dairy, don't involve leather, don't involve animals. I'm surrounded by plants right now. There are approximately 40,000 different types of edible plant in the world. Low cost to produce, many plants that are delicious, tasty. We already use them to season all of our food. Plants that have every type of material that the body needs. You can research that for yourself. Don't believe the bullshit. I've been vegan for years now. I have seen no decline in my health despite entering my 30s. I'm fit as a fiddle. Went to the doctors, got my blood work done, no deficiencies. Maintained the same weight, same muscle mass, same PRs on bench press, deadlift, squat, nothing changed when I went vegan. Before that, I was a vegetarian for many years. I can still do all my personal bests. I can still do one-arm chin-ups. I can still do handstand press-ups. I can still do straddle planche, front lever, these things that only a small percentage of the human population are able to do with their bodies. I can still do them. That didn't change when I went vegan. Okay, that's just an anecdote for you, but you will find in the vegan community many of the highest ranking athletes in the world, and in fact in history, like Carl Lewis, were vegan at the times when they did their personal bests, which means that tactical neglect of animals is completely unnecessary. We don't need to do this to animals. This can stop. It only requires that people take personal accountability for the animals that they demand as part of their consumer habits and choices, and that they change their attitudes around animals, to see animals as independent beings who do not want us in their lives, who do not want to be exploited and abused by us, who just want to live their lives, and certain lineages of genetic freak animals that we have created, these Frankenstein monster, genetically altered animals through selective breeding, those bloodlines are in perpetual agony because of our meddling in their breeding process, and it would be a mercy for us to end their bloodlines by simply stopping the forced breeding of these types of animals. It is unnatural for this many animals to be suffering in this way, and it is because of selective breeding, and it is because of tactical neglect, which is partly caused by selective breeding. Okay, I've highlighted two massive things here that hopefully show you that this problem goes deeper than what you may have thought. It's very exciting when I see new people who are new to veganism making connections. They see that it is not just random, it is not just bad luck, it's systems. Systems are at play. And some of those systems are fine, some of them are benign, and some of these systems that we have are the most hideous abominations, are an affront to nature that we should feel compelled to bring about their end. I've finished there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you stick around, I hope you subscribe, and hopefully see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Just a little mocking, or a little robin. Can you see him there? Look at here. Look at that. Isn't he cute? See if you look. See? You know, I always talk about the birds have to have a place to sit. This little bird was orphaned, and he lives with me now. And I feed him every day and take care of him. And pretty soon he's going to be a big bird. He's going to learn to fly. And we're going to turn him loose and send him back to nature. So if you see little creatures around your house, help take care of them, because they're God's little creatures. And they're fantastic. Get to know them. Make friends with them. Well, I call him Peep because he peeps all the time. Always hungry. Look at that. He can eat my finger. The old clock on the wall tells me we have to go. So from all of us here and my little friend, I'd like to wish you happy painting. God bless, and we'll see you next time.